Hey everyone, a very good afternoon to all of you guys. Welcome to the 9th class on free rankers batch. 500 plus MCQs. We have already crossed, I think, 450 something, right? Let's quickly start the session. Today we are going to discuss about the April 2025 related news. So this will be the part 1, and tomorrow we are going to discuss about the part 2, right? Welcome to this particular class. Let's quickly start the session. Very good afternoon everyone. Very good afternoon Bhakti. The very first question for today, guys, which recent move RBI has taken in April 2025, basically. RBI has taken to expand the liquidity access for standalone primary dealer. Now, because the month is April, I can definitely understand that it will be tough for you guys to recall each and everything if you haven't revised it very well. But still, would love to hear your opinion about all the questions. And let's see who can remember. With the recent move RBI has taken, what kind of recent move RBI has taken to expand the liquidity access for the standalone primary dealer? What do you think, guys? Here are the 5 options. Any idea about the correct choice? Okay, Bhakti B. What about others? What should be the correct choice here? The correct choice here will be option B only. Allowed the participation in all the repo operation irrespective of the tenure, right? So that's what the step RBI has taken for the standalone primary dealers, right? Option B is the correct choice. Acha, tell me this one as well. Which is one key impact of allowing the SDPs to access all the repo tenures? What will happen if the standalone primary dealers will be having access to all the repo tenures here? Increase in CRR, volatility in the interest rates, improved liquidity management and market stability, reduction in forex reserves, or all of the above? Now this can be a very simple one. Any idea? Okay, option A. What about those? Any other opinion? What is going to be the key impact of this standalone primary dealer access to all the repo tenures? It will be having a improved liquidity management impact plus market stability. Okay, so here option C will be correct. The liquidity will be quite high and the market stability will be there because of this particular decision. Acha, tell me, what is the revised aggregate limit under the RBI standing liquidity facility for the standalone primary dealers from April 2025? This can be important. What should be the correct choice here? Okay, so the Wigjack, the playlist is already there. Okay, in the playlist section I can see there is a playlist, free rankers batch. In that you will be finding all the YouTube sessions related to this particular series. Okay, so the playlist is already there. You can see from class 1 in that particular playlist. Okay, the name is free rankers batch. Here the correct choice is option D, 15,000 crore. Okay, 15,000 crore. Option D is the correct choice, and this can be important for your examination, right? So RBI has increased the liquidity support for the standalone primary dealer. Earlier it used to be 10,000 crore, but from 2nd of April it got changed to 15,000 crore. Okay, Next one, which two financial institutions have partnered to offer 24/7 blockchain based cross border payments from GIFT City? Can be important. Can be important. It was Axis Bank and JP Morgan Bank, right? Axis Bank and JP Morgan Bank. And guys, JP Morgan Bank, I can say, is too sharp on the uptake related to the blockchain based technology. Once what they did is they have tested the blockchain technology in the space as well. Okay, so I don't remember exactly in which cryptocurrency they did, maybe in Bitcoin. So what they did is they made a transaction in Bitcoin from one satellite to another satellite, that too in space, right? So JP Morgan Bank is I can say, something very essential, right? Elite bank. Next one, what is the borrowing amount announced by the government of India? This is for the half yearly one for the financial year 2026. Earlier it used to be 8 trillion rupees. Now you need to know the current number as well. In my last session in the RBI circular, I think, right, or in the last finance current affairs session, I told you the half yearly 2 data as well, right? Half yearly 2 data of the financial year 2026. So that data you need to remember. Next one, what initiative is being implemented to streamline the regional rural banks across India? Important and a very simple one. It is important and a very simple one. It is one state, one RRB, right? So correct, Bhakti and Abhishek. One state, one RRB is the correct choice here. Next one. Under the one state, one RRB policy that is going to be effective from 1st of May 2025, how many RRBs will remain after the 4th phase of amalgamation? Good afternoon, Aryan. How many RRBs will remain after the 4th phase of amalgamation? The correct choice is 28. Okay, 28 is the correct choice here. Option C. Next one. What is the authorized capital set for each newly consolidated RRB entity under the one state, one RRB policy? What is the authorized capital set for each newly consolidated RRB entity under the one state, one RRB policy? So that's 2000 crore. Okay, option B, 2000 crore is the correct choice. So government has taken an initiative, one state, one RRB. This is important news, right? So from the current 43 to the 28, they are doing multiple amalgamations. So after the 4th stage, only 28 RRBs will be there here. Okay. SEBI has set up a framework for the PVA. What does PVA stands for? Can be important. The correct choice here is performance validation agency, right? Very good. Performance validation agency is the correct choice here. Next one. What is the primary function, guys, for the newly introduced performance validation agency? What is basically the primary function here of the PVA? The primary function is to standardize and verify the performance of the investment products. Now what happens here is, let's suppose I have opened a mutual fund company, AMC or any other investment company, right? And I'm claiming multiple returns that I'm able to generate 15% or 20% return. So the problem is with the verification part of my claim. the standardization part of my claim. Now there are different terminologies like CAGR, IRR, right? XIRR. There are so many terminologies in which you can state the returns, and every organization is stating the return in different I can say manner. So that's why PVAs are there to validate the performance and to standardize and to bring standardization for any kind of investment related reporting. Which of the following is not a responsibility of SEBI's newly formed PVA? Not a responsibility. Creating a grievance redressal mechanism, validating the performance claim, standardizing the investment performance metric, improving the investment product transparency, or option E, providing comparable data to the investors. Which is the following is not a responsibility? The correct answer here is, guys, creating a grievance redressal mechanism. Why? Because it can never be B, right? It can never be any other option. Why? Because that's the main work of PVA, performance validation agency, right? So they are validating the performance, they are standardizing the investment performance, improving the product investment transparency. Again, if you are validating a claim of a particular entity, obviously you are enhancing the transparency as well, providing comparable data to investors. So all these points are relatable points and are the real responsibilities of the PVA. However, grievance redressal is not at all a primary responsibility of the PVA. Okay, next one. What must investment product provider do under the SEBI's new performance validation agencies? Over to you guys. What do you think should be the correct choice here? Obtain licenses from the PVA, hire third-party rating agencies, submit their performance data to PVA for validation. Yes, submit their performance data for PVA for validation. Let's suppose we are all our AMCs. What we need to do is we need to submit our data to the PVA for the validation purpose. Okay, perfect. Next one. What is Bharat Connect's core objective as used by Axis Bank? Bharat Connect's core objective as used by the Axis Bank. It is enable B2B invoice collections via digital ordering system. Okay, option B here is the correct choice. It's all about to enable the B2B invoice collections, that too via digital ordering system. Very good. Next one. India Post recently launched a new service in partnership with Nippon India Mutual Fund. For what? For what? Any idea? Perfect. For the doorstep KYC verification for the mutual fund investors, right? Option C here is the correct choice. Very good. So India Post has partnered with Nippon India Mutual Fund, which is a AMC, to offer doorstep KYC verification here. Which two organizations have jointly launched the Niveshak Didi initiative phase 2? So we all know that the Niveshak Didi initiative for the phase 2 was launched by IEPFA and IPPB, right? India Post Payment Bank and Investor Education Protection Fund Authority, right? Perfect. India's new CPI series starting from February 2026 will include what? Will include rural housing inflation data. Very important for your upcoming examination, can be important for phase 1 as well. Okay, so this will be incorporating the rural housing inflation data as well. Okay, so please do remember this particular question. What must exporter do if they have unrealized proceeds about 25 crore outstanding for more than 2 years. This is from a data which was published on the RBI website. I think it was from a RBI circular only. What must the exporter do if they have an unrealized proceed about 25 crore outstanding for more than 2 years? What they'll be doing is they'll be only exports under the advance payment or irrevocable letter of credit will be allowed here. Okay. What restriction did RBI propose for gold and silver import transaction? What restriction did RBI propose for gold and silver import transactions? So RBI has imposed no advance remittances are allowed for any kind of gold and silver transaction, right? Option C here will be the correct choice, guys. And those things that can be important for your examination, I have pasted the finance current affair related particular page of that concept as well, right? So whenever you are downloading this PDF and studying it, you can study it in a MCQ based manner, plus you can study it in the regular manner as well. At least those things that are important. Next one, which entity have been authorized to act as a corporate agent for insurance in the gift city? Can be very important. Which entities have been authorized to act as corporate agents for insurance in the gift city? It's none other than option C, HDFC Bank, IDFC Bank, IFSC Unit and Stock Holding Corporation, right? Can be very important. These are designated as corporate agents in the gift city. Okay, corporate agents as a gift city. Next one, in 2025 RBI received which global recognition? In 2025 RBI received which global recognition? ये तो आप लोगों को पता ही होना चाहिए. Yes, it happens whenever we go beyond latest 3 to 4 months, it becomes quite difficult to answer the questions whether we are consistent or not. Still, multiple revision is the only way. If you don't get enough time, what you guys can do, at least cover those questions that I am telling you are important, right? So that will be definitely helpful. Otherwise, there is too much of data. There is only one way, multiple revision. अच्छा, अप्रैल पढ़ा ही नहीं था तो फिर तो आउट ऑफ कोर्स डेफिनेटली लगेगा. Yes, statement based questions are always difficult, Ananya, plus they are time consuming as well, right? Here the correct choice is option C, world's most innovative bank. RBI received a global recognition of world's most innovative bank, right? Next one, Piramal Capital received RBI approval to operate as which category of NBFC? Piramal Capital received RBI approval in April 2025 to operate as which category of the non-banking financial company? NBFC MFI, HFC, ICC, NBFC Factor or NBFC Core Investment Company? It was NBFC ICC. Okay, NBFC ICC. So what is NBFC ICC? Investment and Credit Company. Okay, Investment and Credit Company. So Piramal Capital has transitioned to ICC, right? Earlier they were HFC and they have transitioned to ICC. Next one. Which company is said to become which company is said to become the first unicorn of 2025 following a 150 million round of funding? So it was JustPay. Okay, it was JustPay, option D. Okay. Who has been granted authority by RBI to adjust the UPI transaction limit for in-person merchant payments? Obviously it will be NPCI only. Okay, obviously it will be NPCI only. There is no if and but in this particular question. Who was appointed as the Deputy Governor of RBI in April 2025? So we all know that it was Poonam Gupta ma'am, right? Dr. Poonam Gupta ma'am. Next one. In recent regulatory developments, now this is one of the most expected question, right, for 2025. I can say one of the most crucial question and concept. In a recent regulatory development, SEBI has introduced a new investment structure designed to offer more flexibility than the traditional mutual fund. Now these strategies will be requiring a minimum investment of 10 lakh rupees. I hope you got the answer here itself. Yes, SIF, specialized investment fund, right? We have heard about the SIP, systematic investment plan. It's completely different. It is SIF, specialized investment fund, right? SIF, option C. A very high probability question for your examination. SEBI's 10 lakh minimum investment rule for SIF applies to which level of the investment measurement? Applies to which level of the investment measurement? Any idea about this one, guys? It applies to investment across all the schemes under one single AMC, that too at a PAN level. So let's suppose I have made a SIF investment via a particular AMC, right? So this is per AMC at a PAN level. If I am investing in, let's suppose, Bandhan AMC related to SIF, so what will happen? The basic minimum, the bare minimum, I need 10 lakh rupees, right? Acha, can you tell me India's first SIF? Who is the first AMC to launch the India's first SIF, specialized investment fund? First AMC to launch India's first SIF. Any idea about that? No, it's not Jio BlackRock. No. It's Quant. Okay, it's Quant. So Quant Mutual Fund has launched the India's first SIF. Okay, next one. Which investor category is exempt from the 10 lakh minimum investment requirement of this SIF? It is none other than your accredited investors. Okay, option C, accredited investors are exempt here. We have studied this in the circular itself related to RBI, related to the SEBI SIF. Which of the following best describes SIF, specialized investment fund? Here are the statements. Just have a quick look and let me know in the comment section which statement perfectly describes SIF. It is a simple one. The correct choice here will be, guys, option D. It's a flexible investment vehicle that to position between mutual funds in which you can invest with as low as 100 rupee, 200 rupee, 500 rupee, right? And PMS, which requires a minimum of 50 lakh, right? So SIF is in between this mutual fund and PMS. So it's bridging the gap between the mutual funds and the PMS, right? Portfolio management services. What primary objective is served by Poonawalla FinCorp new loan portfolio business? New loan portfolio business. So It's all about empowering the kirana stores and the small retailers with credit. Not so important, still I'm covering this one. Okay. Next one, Bharat Pay's resilient payment secured RBI's final authorization to which of the following? To function as which of the following? To function as online payment aggregator. Okay, online payment aggregator. So Bharat Pay will now be the only Indian fintech to hold which combination of the financial licenses? So basically, it is having a NBFC license, it is having a SFB license and a payment aggregator license as well. Option C is the correct one, and right, it's the India's only entity to have a NBFC, SFB and payment aggregator license via different companies, subsidiary companies. Next one, what is the primary focus of the MOU, Memorandum of Understanding, signed between the NABARD and the New Development Bank? So MOU was signed between NABARD and the New Development Bank. What's the primary purpose? It was financing infrastructure with emphasis on clean energy and transport, right? So NABARD basically is all about infrastructure and the emphasis was on clean energy and transport. Option C. Now this can also be important for your examination. Okay. Next one. Razorpay's Turbo UPI plugin was launched in partnership with which of the following entity? It was option B, NPCI Beam Service Limited and the Axis Bank. Okay, option B. Perfect. Very good. What is the primary benefit of the Razorpay's Turbo UPI plugin to business? It is an in-app UPI payment without any kind of redirection. Okay, that was the benefit that we had discussed in the month of April. What was the value of India's defense export in financial year 2025? Not a directly question related to finance current affair. Still, it's option C, 23,622 crore. Okay, option C. What was the percentage growth in the defense export from financial year 2024 to 2025? It was 12 point something percent, right? 12.04%. And which sector contributed the most in India's defense exports? Which sector contributed the most in India's defense sector export in 2025? So it was private sector, right? It was private sector. Now here I have formed a para-based question earlier when we were discussing the finance current affairs of the April month. So it's a straight para-based question discussing about the Monetary Policy Committee meeting, right, of April 2025. I have removed the questions from the April month Monetary Policy Committee. Why? Because recently only MPC meeting was held and we need to remember the latest data, right? Just answer me these static questions which are more of a conceptual in nature. What does the term accommodative refer to in the context of the monetary policy? What do you mean by accommodative, guys? When we talk about the stance of monetary policy, what is accommodative? Accommodative means a policy stance indicating readiness to support growth and reduce the interest rates, right? Readiness to support growth. We want to support the growth, and in order to support the growth, we need to reduce the interest rates, right? Option C is the correct choice here. Next one. What term designates the interest rate at which the commercial bank, as a part of monetary policy framework, engage in the process of lending the surplus fund to the Reserve Bank of India in exchange of eligible government securities? It is none other than your reverse repo rate, right? Reverse repo rate. Marginal standing facility. Tell me, what do you mean by marginal standing facility? MSF, a very simple one. A very simple one. MSF. That's option C. Urgent situations. Short term funds. I got my keyword, right? Next one. Standing deposit facility. What do you mean by standing deposit facility, guys, here? Standing deposit facility, SDF. Option B, to absorb the excess liquidity from the commercial banks, that too without the need of any kind of collateral. Acha, now tell me, what do you mean by hawkish? In the monetary policy stance terms. A stance characterized by the willingness to raise interest rates and tighten the monetary policy, right? Option B is the correct choice. Option B is the correct choice here. What is the reverse of hawkish? Dovish. What is the meaning of this particular stance? Now, they may give you a para-based question like this. The correct choice is option C. Very good. A tendency to support the economic growth by keeping the interest rates low or cutting them, right? That's dovish. Next one. To streamline the interaction between the regulated entities and the central bank, Reserve Bank of India has launched a centralized digital platform, a very simple one, for filing, for tracking, for management of various regulatory applications. What kind of platform I'm talking about in this particular para? Yes, that's straight. Prava portal, right? Prava portal. Can you guys tell me the full form of Prava portal? And why do we even need the options? Tell me directly. Prava portal. What is the full form of Prava portal, guys? Any idea? Prava portal. Here are the options. That's platform for regulatory application, validation and authorization, right? Application, validation, authorization. Please do remember these three terms. Platform for regulatory application, validation, authorization. Okay. How much was invested in the green hydrogen project in financial year 2025? So it was 4,459 crore was the investment in the green hydrogen projects in financial year 2025. Which of the following best describe the counter cyclical capital buffer, CCYB? CCYB. Which of the following best describe the CCYB? So that's additional capital requirement imposed during the period of excess credit growth. Additional capital requirement imposed during the period of excess credit growth. Option C here will be the correct choice, guys. Okay. And can you guys tell me what is the current status of the counter cyclical capital buffer in India as of 2025? I think in April month, RBI has released a particular document on the RBI website regarding the CCYB. Regarding the CCYB. Any idea about this one? Skip option E. Don't remember, no problem Ananya. Bhakti, but I guess 0%. Okay. अच्छा चलो बताओ भक्ति, अगर एग्जाम में होता तो किसको टिक करते? 0 को कर देते? कहीं ना कहीं पढ़ा हुआ होगा इसलिए शायद लग रहा होगा कि 0 है, राइट? सो इन केस अगर मोर देन 50% कन्विक्शन आ रहा हो, मोर देन 50 to 60% कन्विक्शन आ रहा हो, सो कैलकुलेटेड गेस लगाना चाहिए एग्जाम में, kept as 0% by the Reserve Bank of India. Okay, option D is the correct choice. 15th April को there was a review of the requirement of counter cyclical buffer. In that particular review, based on the review and analysis, the CCYB indicator, it has been decided that it is not necessary to activate the CCYB at this particular point of time, right? So CCYB as of now is 0%. Okay. Which regulatory rule did Flipkart violate that led to 1 crore plus penalty by IRDAI? So not so important. Still, redirecting the customer to an intermediary site instead of insurers as an ISNP. So basically, what these kind of platform need to do is they can't redirect the customer to any kind of intermediary or a broker website. That's as per the IRDAI's guidelines, right? देखो अगर 50 to 60% से ऊपर की प्रोबेबिलिटी जा रही हो, ठीक है, क्लोज टू 70%, अगर आपको लग रहा हो कि एनीवेयर अराउंड 50 to 70% में श्योर हो कि हो सकता है, राइट? सो फिर चांस लेना चाहिए, क्योंकि वो आपका कहीं ना कहीं बहुत पुराना पड़ा हुआ है, 3-4 महीने पहले पुराना पड़ा हुआ है, एंड यू गाइज आर नॉट एबल टू रिमेंबर दैट थिंग, राइट? अच्छा, INSP क्या होता है? तो INSP मीन्स इंश्योरेंस सेल्फ नेटवर्क प्लेटफॉर्म. ओके, इंश्योरेंस सेल्फ नेटवर्क प्लेटफॉर्म होता है, बेसिकली इंटरमीडियरीज होती हैं, राइट? सो वो क्या कर सकती हैं, किसी और ब्रोकर के प्लेटफॉर्म पे नहीं ले जा सकती, बिकॉज देयर इज अ IRDAI रेगुलेशन, राइट? नेक्स्ट वन, व्हाट टेक्नोलॉजिकल फीचर डज द न्यू NIC क्लासिफिकेशन टूल यूज? That's natural language processing. Okay, natural language processing. Which of the following entities recently signed a 5,000 crore loan agreement to finance the renewable energy project? So that's in April 2025. The entity was IRFC and NTPC renewable energy. Okay, IRFC and NTPC renewable energy. Option B, very good. Next one, IREDA recently secured a JPY 26 billion external commercial borrowing loan from which of the following institution? From which of the following institution? Yes, SBI Tokyo branch. Okay, SBI Tokyo branch, and there was a green shoe option as well in it. And what do you mean by green shoe option? It's nothing but it's an option to have some additional funds as well. If demand is there, say for example, it's a borrowing of 26 billion JPY, right? JBIC यार कोई ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का नाम होगा, ठीक है, कोई ना कोई बैंक का नाम होगा यहाँ पे, ठीक है, ऐसी ऑप्शन क्रिएट करा हुआ है, बेसिकली कोई ना कोई डेफिनेटली बैंक का नाम ही होगा. यहाँ पे बैंक कौन सा था? SBI टोक्यो ब्रांच था, राइट? एंड व्हाट इज ग्रीन शू ऑप्शन? लेट्स सपोज इफ आई हैव टेकन अ लोन, ओके, लेट्स सपोज आई हैव टेकन अ लोन फ्रॉम अनन्या, फ्रॉम भक्ति, फ्रॉम विनोद of 1 crore, plus there is a green shoe option as well in it of 50 lakh rupees. That means if required I may borrow 50 lakhs more, right? As of now I am taking 1 crore loan, but if required I may take 50 lakhs more. That's what green shoe option is all about, right? There was a term bullet payment as well. So bullet payment means the principal will be repaid in one go, that too at the time of maturity. and the whole idea of taking this loan was to bring a variety of sustainable development projects, right? GICA has signed an agreement of 11,000 plus crore with India to support a variety of sustainable development projects. Which company recently introduced the pay how you drive feature at no additional cost for motor insurance consumers? Not so important, still it was a part of your finance current affairs session. Not so exam oriented, still it was option D. Option D, Zuno General Insurance, right? Option D. SEBI has recently modified its rule for monitoring the index derivative by requiring important, very, very important, and we have done it multiple times in different sessions, 4 random screenshots, right? Snapshots, sorry, 4 random snapshot for the intraday position limits, right? Perfect. We have done it multiple times in different circle, in different videos. So what does the delta represent here? What does the delta represent here in options? If you know derivatives, if there is a change in the price of option, if there is a change in the price of option, let's suppose my option prices is changing. If my option prices are changing, why they are changing? Because there is a change in the underlying price, right? Say for example, I have bought a call option, a Nifty 50 based call option. So the value of the call option, the prices of the call option is changing. Why? Because the Nifty 50 value is changing. How to measure this? By the help of delta. They are a part of option Greeks. ठीक है, delta से measure होता है. What was the previous restriction on SDP regarding the RBI liquidity operation? What was the previous restriction? It is option C, allowed only for overnight repos, not MSF or long term, right? So अभी उनको काफ़ी सारे ड्यूरेशंस का यहाँ पे ऑथराइजेशन मिल चुका है. So guys, if you are preparing for your RBI Grade B examination, this is the rapid revision phase 1 batch. If you are interested, you can check the course highlights as well. So that's all from my end today, guys. For today, guys, we'll be concluding the rest of the things related to April in my next session, right? Most probably by tomorrow. Okay. So thank you so much, guys. मिलते हैं कल same time, okay, 3 PM. So thank you so much everyone. Bye bye. Take care. और आई होप ये सेशंस आप लोगों के लिए कुछ वैल्यू क्रिएट कर रहे हो, प्लस इसका PDF डाउनलोड करके सब यहाँ पे बहुत अच्छे से इसको कंप्लीट करना. ठीक है, डेफिनेटली इसमें से कुछ ना कुछ क्वेश्चंस आपको एग्जाम में मिलने चाहिए. ओके, सो थैंक यू सो मच.